Thursday, June the 16th, 2022, and as you can see I'm down at Hassocks about to redo a walk I last did 13 years ago again, almost to the month. July I did it back then, and the reason this time I'm having to redo this walk is not that I didn't have this handy cam, but because I'd forgotten it and had to do it on the mobile. So even 13 years ago I was getting a bit forgetful. Anyway, today we're about to do either 10 or 13 miles depending on my heat exhaustion come Truleigh Hill to either Upper Beeding or Shoreham-By-Sea. As I say, depends how I feel at that point, 10 mile in, whether I do the 10 mile or the 13 mile variant. Last time I did this I ended up doing the 10 mile version, I think, because it's quite up and down this walk, variations between 4 foot high and 700 foot. Got a decent day, bit of a breeze again though, so we might encounter some wind on commentary as I did last week. Yeah, decent temperature, 19-20 degrees. So it's about 11:35 now, similar time to when I started the walk last time out. So that gives me some judgment on where I might or should be at appropriate points, having just watched the 10-minute video clip on the way down. So let's get cracking. So immediately outside the station you've got a pub called the Hassocks, and opposite that you've got a sign here, South Downs. So that's nice and simple. Ignore this earth path here on my left, but take the stone steps immediately after them. So up these steps, and I do recall this walk, interestingly. Yeah, unlike some of the walks that I've redone recently, this one is still quite fresh in my mind for some interesting reason. Again, possibly because I've done a walk from this station using these paths to somewhere else. Just passing Butcher's Wood on my left here, and as you can see, ash dieback, which I've spoken about a lot in the past, prevalent down here. Use this gate in memory of. There you go, good idea. The old chiff chaff in the background. Yeah, it's going to be a big loss, the ash tree, like so many things in our society at the moment. Shocking. This is something I previously recorded, little indicator of who does the repairs in this area, the Monday group, and all these years on still looks like they're sticking with the styles, which clearly they need to update. Kissing gates. Now out into the countryside proper, and it's good to see that the verges have been kept. Lovely. Cuckoo territory, and I know some of you are still hearing them, so they're still about, but don't think I'll hear one today. Wrong kind of terrain in many places, but you never know. So here we are, another cockeyed style next to lag wood, and at this juncture we do a right here over the railway line past Bonnie's Wood on my right, which looks like it's also suffered from ash dieback and had a number of trees felled already. Yeah, there's that interesting tunnel that I have filmed on other walks. Interesting. can hear some diggers in the background somewhere. Now it's amazing how this alternative cemetery has developed in the 13 years since I was last here. It had just been started when I passed then. Now look at it. Wonderful. Clayton wood, that's it. There's the service hall in use at the moment. God rest their souls. And that ahead of me is the first of today's climbs. All the high hard work is in the first part of this walk, I do believe, because once you're up there, you're up there. Pretty busy road here that you have to cross. Onward journey though is clear. There is a notice here about a breach of planning control. Doesn't affect our onward journey though. So as you can see here, after rain, this could be a dodgy section. A mile in at the minute, and quite a slow pace. So the 10 mile I might be looking on at the minute. Very cool in here, ideal for this kind of day. However, it won't be long before we're out on the unprotected downs. And that would have been a lovely bluebell wood not so long back. On my right here. Passing Cold Harbour Farm on the map. Looking back towards Cold Harbour Farm, and there's a new plantation just been planted in here. Good to see. And I'm now stood at a lane where we turn right for a short distance. Now ascending via or past Ashen Plantation, so I'm surprised there's much of that left standing, just by the name. And as you can see, it's Wolstonbury Hill, an SSI. Likewise, there were ransoms here not so long ago. Good God, technology, eh? They've passed over. Decent vista on my left. What a lovely afternoon again, eh? Although I understand from the reliable Met that it will cloud over, as it is seeming to do. High cloud. What's that? Alto stratus. High cloud keeping out the sunshine, but still warm and balmy. So the worst of all scenarios really for walking. Anyway, they're not usually right, so let's see what happens. So as you can see at this finger post here, there's a new addition there to Woody Bay, 52 miles. Now I'm not sure which Woody Bay that is because there's a number of them. But 52 mile hence would probably keep us, where would that be? Hampshire. Now I do believe this public bridleway is our onward journey towards the top of that hill. Now although the finger post points you right here, GPX track takes us straight ahead, which makes sense. And below me a herd of cows, eh? Right in the pathway. Oh dear. There's my onward journey through that gap. But I'm not taking that on. I'll wait till they've passed over. Yeah, they were quite amenable. They got calves, but give them a good distance. Yeah, we know that. So looking back whence I've come, cracking view that I was unable to capture last time on the mobile. Still just as breezy, mind, so you might be getting some of that. Now in the distance there, which I did attempt to capture, I had a Jack and Jill windmills, which of course I can zoom in on today. Google that for information. .206 metre Trig point here, Wolstonbury Hill, or around 652 feet I'm recording. Interesting article on these in the latest edition of the Walk magazine from the Ramblers. Apparently there are about 6,500 of these around the country, including Northern Ireland, and someone has bagged a lot. Apparently it's a pastime, and there are websites dedicated to it, if you believe that. Then again, the British are eccentric, aren't they? Well, certainly the English are. These are still maintained by the Ordnance Survey, not because they're still used, obviously GPS and satellites have taken over, but because of the historic and touristic value to them. People do like seeing them. Sense of achievement, I suppose. Wonderful skylark there giving me an accompaniment. Let's zoom in on the surrounding hills. It's a bit hazy in the distance. So that's looking seaward, although I can't see it yet. And this is looking wildward, northwards, towards the North Downs and the Weald. It's been a long time since I've been on the Downs. Good to be back. So my memory is very hazy now. And I'm not looking at the walk notes like I used to do, because you can always access those through the title of the walk, by the way. For those that don't know, all the information you need is on those walk notes. Just Google the title of the walk. We'll be passing those aerials later. I think that's Truleigh Hill. Bit of a carbuncle in front of me here. Chalk pits. So just leaving Wolstonbury Hill and the friends that maintain it. Interestingly, this is a bridleway. Not much room to manoeuvre in it though, but it is used. Plenty of horse hoof prints on the floor. Oh, blow me, I just passed a local horse rider coming along this path, and she said that the overhang is not as bad as it was, so fair play to her. Descending down this track towards the busy A23, which we cross over somehow. Can't remember that. Can't remember how we do it. So as you can see here, we're in the parish of Pycombe, and it is a footbridge over the A23. Not too busy at this time. Passing a farm shop on my left, which has dining facilities by the looks of it. So that's immediately next to the A23. As you can see, it closes at 4. Doggy ice cream. Interesting. Now ascending Cow Down on the map, which doesn't bode well from my perspective. I said beasts. And indeed there was livestock in the field. But there were some young bulls in there as well, and they shouldn't be on the loose on a public footpath. Note that, farmer. Just as we're stood by the new Timber Hill sign. Stood on West Hill now, about 652 feet up as well, funnily enough. And wonderful meadowland here, or downland actually. Skylarks love it, as you can hear in the background. And the whitethroat. So last week it was the Devil's Punch Bowl. This week it's the Devil's Dyke. Purely out of coincidence, that. I think I'll take my lunch somewhere near the top, albeit it will be busy, even on a midweek day. All the university types, students, seem to be on holiday already. Approaching Saddlecombe on the map. What is that there? As you well know, I'm not great on flowers. Someone could tell us. It's turning over, whatever it is. Could be an orchid, I don't know. Lots of them around this little patch. Now entering Saddlecombe Farm, and we're back on the South Down Way. When I say back on it, I'm pretty sure we were on it earlier. Dead end path here to something called the Donkey Wheel. Self-explanatory, I suppose. Okay, so got the Wild Flare Cafe here. Been given a number of names over the years. Hiker's Rest, I think it was, when I was down here last. So as you can see, about a mile to go now. 67 to Winchester, 33 to Eastbourne. Now onto the Devil's Dyke estate. Long slow climb now to refreshments. I would add that the GPX track takes you up the valley floor, so there are two options as there were with the Devil's Bowl last Devil's Bowl last week. But I'm taking the rim again, as I did last week, up around the edge of the Devil's Dyke. Another ash stricken. Neighbouring ones aren't in much better health either. Decent vista on my right as we continue to ascend. So as you can see, we've also joined the Sussex border path now. Further views down the dyke. very balmy now. The Mets seem to have got it right unusually. Got a high cloud keeping the sun out, but it's extremely warm. So at this juncture we do a right here, or veer towards the right, going up towards the café there. I believe that's where the walk author's taken us on this track. So round about we've got whitethroats, goldfinches, chiffchaffs and yellowhammers, to name those that I can identify, and a blackbird of course there. Another trig point ahead of us. And down below, students of either geography or geology, I'd wager, doing some kind of survey. Great feature to be studying. There is an empty bench over there, but I'm not tempted. Let's see what's on offer up near the cafe. And there is the Devil's Dyke. Not quite sure of the story behind this one, unlike the Devil's Punch Bowl, but you can Google that for more information. It's clearly glacial though, V-shaped valley. Well, there you go, information panel here about the Devil's Dyke, which is a chalk valley. So it could be water actually that's created it, I'm not sure. Nothing here telling me either. I should know really, having studied geography. Long time back, mind. The vista from just in front of the Devil's Dyke pub, which is very busy today, as I indicated. Unlike the last time I was here, things have changed, eh? Don't have it all to myself these days. Wonderful vista, eh? Vaughan Williams comes to mind for sure. Or someone of his ilk. Wonderful. Onward journey after lunch, which I'm going to have shortly, is towards those aerials. (2:15), 5.8 miles, and just over 2 hours in. Lunch is served. 2.5 hours actually. 3 o'clock, lunch has been had. Just a couple of information panels there, pointing out places in various directions. I don't recall this being here last time I was here, so I guess it wasn't. Anyway, very appropriate. Leaving the Devil's Dyke pub behind us now. looking down on Fulking. Wonderful view to my right here. Pretty hazy though in the distance. Unsure what that is on my left, but it's been protected, so it must be something significant. Wartime relic, possibly. It's near the Trig point. Looking back towards the Devil's Dyke there, and you can see why there was a fortification or whatever it was there, because at around 685 foot, that is one of the high points of the walk today. Maximum height attained per the OS, 702 feet, so we're round about the high point now, or was. Further views back whence I've come. Wonderful. I don't know if you can see that out there on the horizon, but there's a wind farm out there. Wasn't aware of that. Shocking. First sighting of the sea for me today, with Shoreham over on my right somewhere there. You get a good example here of small field size, plenty of woods, ideal for wildlife, assuming they're not using chemicals, which I doubt somehow. Very good, lovely to see. And this is how all transmission lines should be, eh? Hidden. This is very good. Follows the fold of the land down that gully. It's imperceptible almost there. Through the tree line. Really well thought that. And not too oppressive, not too high. Would be great if they were all like that, wouldn't it? Instead of wasting money on those stupid wind farms, inefficient, they'll be gone within a couple of years anyway, hopefully. Save the wildlife that they're killing. And there they go, off in the opposite direction, towards the wind farm. Like I say, I don't know if you can see that, but I certainly can. No poppy fields yet. I do recall seeing one last time I did this walk. Little bench here from Edburton Hill. Decent vista. That's a whitethroat, bombs into that hedge there. Walking past the radio masts. Passing Truleigh Hill livery stables. Looking over towards Shoreham from Truleigh Hill. I've just had a rural police officer have a chat with me about various reporting methods. So I've given her an earful on what she should be doing with approaching her governors about maintaining path watch. Passing YHA Truleigh Hill. Information panel here about Truleigh Hill Field, which looks wonderful. Nice looking youth hostel this. Very busy at the minute. Well, look at that for a flower meadow. All up one edge of the field. Wonderful. Skylarks everywhere. full of wildlife and butterflies, ox-eyed daisies in there. Not sure what the pink thing is. I think there's some, yeah, I don't know what that pink stuff is. Lovely though, nice contrast. There's a close-up of it. Interesting aroma as well. And a wonderful vista on my right here. Looking towards Chanctonbury, I believe, on the edge there. It's above Stenning anyway. And of course Bramber and Upper Beeding. So I need to make a judgment call soon. But it's looking like I might be on track to get the bus, because I think I might be able to time it right and it'll give me a bit longer in Shoreham. Let's see. Lovely views, eh, on my right as I descend towards Upper Beeding rather, sorry. Okay, judgment time. I've got half hour to get to the bus stop. If you continue down that lane there, or up that lane, that'll take you to Shoreham, 3 mile, probably 90-minute walking. If I take my chances and go straight ahead, I could be at the bus stop hopefully within half an hour. Can't be more than a mile now. Now at Beeding Hill. Onward journeys through this gate and on. There's the old cement works there, plus a Gothic school. Wonderful that is. It's a pleasant enough descent towards the bus stop down the South Downs Way here. So 10 mile almost on the button, and 4 hours exactly you get to this bus stop. There's one due in about quarter of an hour at 10:02, so let's see if it works. Get me back to Shoreham. So here we are in Shoreham-By-Sea. Bus was on the button, which is excellent, and it's £2.80 for reference from that South Downs Way bus stop, which is well positioned, down to Shoreham Station. So there's the new footbridge, which I'm just going to cross. And as you can see, we're now on a stretch of the England coast path. Views towards the Downs and the new developments on the Ada, which is what I'm stood on. Don't half hum at the moment because the tide's on its way out. And that's looking landward up towards the Downs and Stenning and Upper Beeding. So one of the walk options back is along the valley, the Ada Valley.
So much then.
Not a bad little place, Shoreham. Some people like it enough to make a houseboat their home. Catch the old church on the way back towards the station, I believe. Interestingly, the ideal train back, the 1742, has been cancelled. Reason being, lack of train crew. Seems to be a common issue at the moment. So not only are they on strike next week, affecting my walking and everything else that everybody else does, but they're not very... I've noticed a lot of this train crew shortage over recent weeks. get a sunny day and there's clearly train crew shortages. Well, the church has an interesting name, St Mary's Dohora. Interesting. Google that if you want to learn more. Nice little pedestrianised precinct in front of the church. Cafes and what have you. Okay, it's now 1800 hours, just awaiting the 1812, seeing as the 1742 was cancelled, and that was a very decent walk. Remember a lot of it for some strange reason, but after 13 years very little had changed. It's not the sort of walk that's going to change much really. Having said that, I don't remember these properties behind the station last time. They look quite new, well located. But yeah, a very good 10 miler. I think I made the right choice choosing 10 as opposed to 13. Could have done the 13, mind you, with this train being cancelled. However, the weather held out. Had a good amount of sunshine actually, my neck is telling me so, even though I put some cream on it. So that's God, what number is that? Book 2, walk 23 I believe, completed. Hassocks to Shoreham anyway, or Hassocks to Upper Beeding, whichever you want. I did the Upper Beeding variant. So until next time, enjoy the weather.